Welcome to Father and Son. G'day, Tom.
Morning, Dad.
Congratulations to us both. I
Yes.
predicted the election a week ago would be a hung parliament. Gary Morgan was the most, who we had on our show last week. He was closest of all the pollsters to the election result. So now we've just got to sit and wait till the counting finishes. What do you make of it?
Well, I'm hearing at the moment, and remember, counting is still going on. There's been a couple of things. They had 15% of total votes cast were pre-poll or postal, and almost 6% were informal. So it's a very different election to anyone we've seen before, which is one of the reasons the outcome is still very close. But I'm hearing that, in Hasluck, which has turned out to be one of the key seats in WA, the coalition will probably get that by a very, very small margin. If that is the case, the coalition will have 73 seats in its own right. You'll have 3 ex-national independents whom you'd think it was unlikely would do a deal with Labor.
You can't trust them.
You can't trust them, I agree. But
they left the National Party because they don't like Barnaby Joyce, who's leader in the Senate, and they don't like Truss.
That's right. Warren Truss and Barnaby Joyce made the mistake of criticising them all a week or so ago, which was a dumb move.
Yep.
But you'd still have to say they're far more likely to go with the coalition than with Labor. That gets you to the magic number of 76. A speaker still has to be appointed, and the independents have said, actually it's curious, they're still calling themselves independents, but they're working together as a group, so they're not really.
Well, that's sensible.
It is.
The good thing I heard them say yesterday was that they're going to try and produce stable government if they can. Now, if that is the case, and you're right about Hasluck, the only party they can go to is the coalition.
That's right, because
the 76.
If you think about the alternative, you'd have Labor on maybe 72. You've got one definite Green in Melbourne, another potential Green in Denison, who's Andrew Wilkie, who actually used to be a Liberal Party member before he became a Green, before now an independent. But you can't see how that could be a stable government with the Greens, the Nationals, or disaffected Nationals and Labor. It wouldn't work. And they would be punished in the future if they had an unstable government and another election had to be called. So I'd say at the moment, the odds on that we'll get a narrow coalition win. That'll be good for, well, obviously for people's confidence and things.
It'll be good for the mining companies.
Oh, no doubt.
Shares have gone up today, miners.
Well, both BHP and Rio and Fortescue are up today. Of course, Tony Abbott said that if elected, he would have no mining tax, so not a resources super profits tax, not the revised mineral resources rent tax, no tax whatsoever. Of course, if Labor does get up somehow and the Greens are in charge, well, the mining stocks will drop. So you can see, and what was interesting also in WA, the swing against the government wasn't that strong, only less than 2%, which I was surprised with.
Yeah, I was too, but I thought the swings in Queensland and New South Wales were amazing. It was like a whole bunch of state elections. I mean, in South Australia, there was a swing to the government, yet fortunately the Liberals didn't lose a seat. We've lost 2, maybe 3 seats here. What are they saying about Careenamite? I can't see it. I thought that's still on a knife edge.
I think Labor's claiming it now, but that is on a knife edge. Again, the very high number of pre-poll and postal votes. But I mean, there's no doubt the People's Republic of Victoria's chickens have come home to roost. I would imagine having a swing to the government, given what we saw over the past couple of months. But New South Wales, we saw a swing of almost 5% against Labor, and of course Queensland almost 8%. So that was enough to do the job. And the first hung parliament since 1940. So very interesting times.
It is interesting times. I suppose we'll have to wait another week before it all sorts itself out, because you've also got the Court of Disputed Returns. If they're very close electorates, they've got to go and look at all the votes weren't counted and whether they were wrong, and that takes weeks at times. Because if you remember, we were 12 votes behind in that Victorian country. McEwen, that's right. Finished up winning by about 25 or 30.
That's right. And of course, McEwen sadly is one of those seats which has, I think, been lost this time. Fran Bailey, the retiring member, wasn't able to. The new candidate wasn't able to carry through with her success. Some other interesting things that came out. I mean, we've got that 20-year-old in Queensland. His name's Wyatt, and he sounded one of the best new politicians I've ever heard on television. He batted back questions from Kerry O'Brien, who was just bemused that a 20-year-old could sound so mature. Peter Costello's already declared him a future leader of the party.
Has he?
Which is quite a weight to bear on his shoulders. You had Michael Kroger on.
He got stuck into the Treasury.
Oh, into Wayne Swan. He referred to him as son, which is a very dismissive term. I mean, I think there's that much age difference between them. But look, it's a stunning victory, whatever happens for Tony Abbott, because people thought that there was no way he could win an election. And from what I hear, the Labor Party, the Bill Shortens, the Mark Habibs, the Faceless Men, factional warriors, the knives are out at the moment in Labor, wondering where it all went wrong.
I agree with that. The other interesting thing is what the Conservatives or the coalition could do, it's happened in other parts of the world, is to promote a Labor person as the Speaker, to get the majority that way.
You would be a brave Labor person to take that job on, because you would effectively, I mean, your vote is removed, you have a casting vote, and you can imagine a very difficult situation where the House is evenly split.
Well, Mr. Peter Costello Saturday night on the television said, why wouldn't they offer it to Mr. Rudd? He might take it.
Actually, he probably would, wouldn't he? I hadn't thought of that. That's a very interesting idea. So, I think from Labor's perspective, it's a time of real introspection, because after the success of 2007, having a big swing against the Howard government, to now potentially facing political oblivion for a few more years, and that was most shown.
Wonderful news, I think, outstanding news.
Well, I was going to say, Bennelong, if anything, sums it up.
Oh, yeah.
Maxine McHugh.
She was dirty on a Saturday night when she came on the television. I was laughing away watching. She was very upset. And
I mean, for years now, people in the Labor Party will say, should we have stuck with Kevin Rudd? Would the result have been even worse, or would it have been better? Well, we'll never know. But the fact is, it's been a very disappointing result for Labor, a good one for the coalition. I still think the most likely outcome now is a thin but stable coalition government with some conservative-minded independents.
I agree, but I think the other interesting thing it shows up is that you wouldn't want to be back in New South Wales Labor government in the next state election, which has to be held in February, and the Queensland Labor government would be in a bit of trouble. I'm not sure what it means for Ted Baillieu here in Victoria, because there was a small swing to the government.
Yes, I mean, if you think that the federal election's a protest vote for state elections or state parties that people don't like.
That's what Labor was saying.
That's what Labor was saying in the northern states. Clearly here in Victoria, we're in for a bit of a tough fight. Another view is that in Victoria in a couple of months, people will get the chance to contest a state election. As a result, their federal views, or the way they vote federally and the way they vote state-wise, is different. Right. And one thing we haven't mentioned yet, Dad, is of course the rise of the Greens. Now, love them or hate them, the fact is they are here as a force in politics. The seat that you and I live in, the seat of Melbourne, is now a Green seat. Abbott has become the first lower house Green member, and it seems whatever happens, the new Senate, which sits in July next year, will have 9 Green members. Now, whoever forms a government, you will have a Green-dominated Senate.
No doubt about that, but most people think that's going to happen straight away. So if the coalition can form government with those 3 independents, they've still got a majority in the Senate up till the 30th of June next year, which means they'll have to get most of their legislation.
Whatever it is they want to do, they've got to do it. But beyond that, we're going to have to come to terms with the fact that the Greens will have a very important sway over Australian federal politics. And I think also the upcoming Victorian election, there's a lot of state seats around the inner Melbourne area which could fall to the Greens as well, and they could have a very interesting situation in the state parliament as well.
Let's hope not, Trump. Well, all right, that's it for this week. I want you now to do your market report. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, and maybe things will be a little clearer.